Alright, mbaniliza nyo abalabi bange. Thank you so much for watching Celeb Jazz with the King, KingSmith. Right about now is the time when we slow down a little bit of our talk. Nga tubeera twogerako ku mboozi, watu bayita ku mboozi wa stories eziyigiriza ate nga zinyuma. Emboozi zino twasalawo tuzibayitire because of the world that we live in n'engeri ensonga z'ebyobulamu gye zigenda mu maaso. Naye mostly we target abavubuka naddala mu mwena batulaba okuva mu nsi ez'enjawulo here in Uganda, Kenya, East Africa, Africa, world all over. So I want to just thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. If you're watching us on live television, still thank you so much. Gwe guno omukutu gwokka gwolina okubaako ng'olaba emboozi eziri educative nga olunaku lwaleero. Today once again I bring you the beautiful omukyalo ono agenda kuba tubuulira amannya ge era yongere n'otubuulira emboozi ye. Olugero lwe lulungi nnyo era lulimu ebyokuyiga bingi nnyo. So we are going to be hearing from her and her story. Welcome on the show.
Thank you so much.
How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. You're good?
Yes, I'm good. And
How
you?
has been your week?
My week has been really good. So far, it's beautiful.
So, please introduce yourself to the viewers, our dear viewers. Your name, what you do.
Okay, my name is Ruth Akulu, and I'm from Wakiso, but I was born in Oyam district, and I am an economist by profession. I graduated last year, just before COVID-19, and right now I am an ambassador of Uganda network of young people living with HIV, and I contested in the beauty pageant that helps young people living with HIV to fight stigma and discrimination that is internal and external. And I came up as the second runners up, and currently I volunteer with the Kampala Children's Center and helping the children get resettled into safer places. Like, for example, like if a child who has been living in the orphanage, when they reach 18, you help them find a favorable and a safe environment for them to grow up into responsible young adults. Thank you so much.
Wow, that introduction is lengthy. There's a lot of wow, a lot of signatories on it. But anyways, katutandike emboozi yaffe olunaku olwaleero. Why we hosted you? Because you have a big story.
Yeah.
Story gye tusuubiramu nno omuvubuka oba omwana omuto oba omukulu agiraba ajja kuyiga ajja funamu ekyokuyiga. Yeah? So njagala onyumizeeko ku lugero. What is your story like? Nze nkimanyi ebimu mbimanyi, but to our dear viewers, what is your story like?
Oh, well, my story, I grew up from an orphanage, and just the day I got enrolled into the care, they found out that I was HIV positive, and I didn't know what HIV was by then. But as time went by, and as I grew up into a young teenager, depression set in. So the time I joined orphanage, I was 9 years. So a child at 9 years does not really understand what HIV is. But as time goes on, and even with rumors about HIV, even the stereotypes you hear about HIV, you get to question yourself that what is really HIV, and you don't really know. And I didn't see myself as one, but when I was officially told in 2013, when I was in P7, that I am HIV positive, so it was quite hard to take in. Still, I didn't really know, but
Kati tuddemu emabega wali katono nnyo. What happened for you to be enrolled into an orphanage? Ki ekyabaawo okubanga okulira mu orphanage?
Okay, my mom gave birth to me when she was still a teenager. Okay. And she couldn't take care of me, and that's the time my dad passed on, who was our sole, the provider of the home. So my mom couldn't really take care of me, and she decided to give me up to Kampala Children's Center
Okay.
to take on the care.
So bakuteeka Kampala Children's Center ne bakutwala mu orphanage gye wakulira.
Yeah.
Yeah. So bagenda okutwalayo, what happened? Were you born with HIV? Did you get it during the process of you wategerera? What happened?
I was born with HIV. Yeah, but my mom didn't know that she was positive by then. So when they checked that I was positive and they were wondering how did I get it, and they had to call her to find out about her status too. Then she also went for checkup and she found out that she was positive. So that's how they got to know that I got it from her.
Okay. So you get to 9 years, you go to an orphanage. Uganda orphanages nezimu tumanyi mbuno ebweru gabamaka sometimes foster homes. Orphanage kibanga ngambe nga kizimbe nga mulimu abaana bangi. Kati soko twemuko wagendayo kyakuyisa kityokulanga bakujja ku bazadde bo.
You want me to use luganda?
Both.
Okay, I felt so bad because I really loved my mom so much, and there was nothing that would separate me from her. And when I was taken there, I was deceived that I'm just going there for a short time to see my little brother who was there already. Then I go back to mom. But when I reached there, I waited for mom to come for me, and she never came back.
Oh, so it was your mom, partly your mom was involved?
Yes.
For you to be in that orphanage?
Yeah.
Okay, so you get into the orphanage, your mom never comes to pick you. How did you feel?
I felt so bad. As a young child, like, you would want to be with your mom. But it was a tough time for me to deal with it, that she is never coming for me. And I had to be there for my little brother who was there.
In the orphanage as well?
Yes, I had to be strong for him. Yes.
So was your little brother still same status?
No, he is negative.
Oh, okay. So you're the elder sister?
Yes.
Okay, so what happens in the orphanage? First, take us through your story during the orphanage time.
I don't actually want to use the word orphanage because it sounds so, I don't know. But I would like to
A
use
home?
a home for children, for a home for vulnerable children. So it's a perfect home for a vulnerable child, because there we don't actually live in a dormitory. That's what people used to think, that we live in a dormitory. And no, we have houses, different houses, and each house has 12 children, and each room you'd share a room like 2 people, it depends. So it's not actually a dormitory, but it's in a home setting to make children feel comfortable, and there's a mother to look after the children. Yes, please.
So I know Mario Bangachi.
I stayed there for you see, this is
2020.
2020. Since 2005, I think I officially left last year. So help me count.
That is around like 2005. That is that would have been 20 years minus 5. That is 15. Literally 14 years.
Yes, around there, 14, 15.
So how has life been for you, given the fact that ngochali wali mwana muto bagambira mu P7 nti olina akawuka, HIV positive? How was the journey?
The journey, at first I wasn't really affected so much, but as I grew up, I started knowing the reality of living with HIV, because I would hear people talk about it, and you see some people distancing themselves from you, and my friends would be warned how I will infect them. So I started getting depressed because it was a lonely life and I didn't know who to express myself to. So it was tough. I entered into a state of depression and anxiety. I lost hope in life and I didn't want to do anything with school. Like I would just go to school just to make Kampala Children's Center happy that I'm in school, but deep inside me I wasn't really happy that I was HIV positive. So when senior 5 I attempted suicide, like I tried to commit suicide using my very own drugs. I thought they would take me they would take my life. I took an overdose. I felt it was too much for me. So
tukyali n'emboozi y'omukyala agezaako tunyumizaako about her life and positive living. Akawuka kano yazaalibwa nako for almost I think 20 and above years okuba nga abadde nako era ng'agezaako tubuulira embeera nga bwe zeemuyisa nga bwazza ayitamu. Tugambye muno yali atukanga mu kibiina ekya senior 5. She almost attempted suicide. Actually, she did attempt suicide. Not that Mukama yazza bibye and she wasn't able to die. Maybe she had a miracle that was happening that she didn't know, or a calling, or some purpose in life that she has to fulfill that that made her live until now. So agezaako tubuulira gwatulaba oyinza okuwulira nga teweekebezanga nga tomanyi bulamu bwe buli, but I would tell you genda weekebeze, you know your status so that you can know whether to positive live than living without knowing your status. So your name gives me a little bit of a call.
Akulu.
Akulu, yes. So Miss Akulu.
Yes.
Kati oyagadde okwetta. Why? What was the main reason? Why oyagala okwetta?
First of all, I felt my life was useless.
Okay.
Ndaba sina mugaso mu nsi and I felt like I won't find love and I won't be able to give back to kids, and I was scared. I got scared that whenever I thought of giving birth, and I'll be like that, what if they also get infected and they have to live with it and with the stereotypes in the community about HIV, like it would be very hard, and I didn't want to go. I didn't want them to live the same life I lived. So yeah, that's it. I just lost hope completely. I didn't want to take medicine. Adhering to ARVs, it's also another challenge because it comes with side effects. So one of the side effects is that you're it also causes it's also a reason why I was depressed.
Oh.
So, and you have to deal with the timekeeping. Sometimes when in class you come back late and you have to take medicine, and sometimes the pills are too big and you're like, no. And I'm not really a person of taking medicine. So whenever I would think of that, whenever I would think of how I'll take this medicine for the rest of my life, it would only increase on my depressions. Like, no, this is not what I want to live. This is not the life I want to live. And seeing my friends, living free, even like they had nothing to worry about, their life, and they didn't have to worry about going to hospital even if you're not sick. You go. It's also it's another experience. You sit in a line, you're not sick, but you're there to pick your drugs. So it's quite a tough life. So, but it only takes someone who is strong to live that life.
So omaze okuba in that being of committing suicide, then you come back. What happened to you? Were you taken to the hospital? What happened?
Yes, I was taken to the hospital, but no one knew what exactly happened. It's until last year when I talked about myself, when I came out publicly about my status, that's when they got to understand that, oh, it was suicide. So they didn't know what really went wrong. But all they did was take me to hospital and they gave me, I lied that I had malaria.
What made you come out publicly?
What really made me come out publicly is that I no longer wanted to live in a shell whereby you're so afraid to tell your friends, or your friends knowing about you, backbiting you, because that was the period whereby guys were really vibing me, and opening up to them, it was tough. And some, if you open up to some of them, some decide to just remain friends with you, and some, so it was tough. And even for my friends, like generally my friends, like I every time I would sit with them and we're jazzing, they didn't really know about me, so I would feel guilty. So that would only add to my stress. Like they don't really know about me, and yet these are my friends. So I wanted to fight that internal stigma within me.
Yes.
That I always looked at myself as a worthless person, and I always devalued myself whenever I'm around people. So I had to come out to fight it within me, because disclosure is the first step to fighting stigma within you and in your environment. So when I came out, so one of my friends told me that the rumors that were really going around about me, she told me that, Ruth, what you did, it shut up everyone. Like even people who were all saying that you shouldn't be friends with her, like they all had to shut up.
Let me ask, because everyone in life, you agree with me, my dear viewers, that everyone in life has a turning point. Yeah? When and where is your turning point in this story?
My turning point, it was last year when I got to know about UNIPA, that is Uganda Network of Young People Living with HIV. So every year they have a beauty pageant to help young girls to fight stigma and discrimination. So it is like a platform that is given to young people living with HIV to speak up for themselves, to express themselves publicly. So that was my turning point. And I contested, though I was still scared, but I contested, and I'm like, take heart. And I'm glad I was chosen. Like I went through, I won at a national level. Though I did not become the Miss Y+, but I became at least a second runners up, which is still good for me. And people, my friends encouraged me that you can still work with that to fight for the rights of young people living with HIV, to also express yourself. So it's like you use what you got to impact lives. So it's what I'm now doing.
Okay. Your brother, how is he?
My brother? What do you mean, how is he?
Like in the whole story, because now we've gone a lot on your side, but you told us about your kid brother you used to have.
Yes.
Yes, when he got to know that my sister is HIV positive, how did he take it? How did he perceive it?
Well, he was fine, but when I came out publicly about my status, he wasn't happy. And I had to just encourage him that it's me, not him, that is going through that life, though he is under HIV term, he is the person who is affected, but he is not infected. So he was, later on he had to to also deal with it, because I think he thought that people would also think that he is positive, but I just had to, but because I came out and I was straightforward that he is negative, so he became fine.
It became fine. Some of the challenges you faced with your life that you think other people are also facing as someone who's Y positive. What are some of those challenges?
The biggest challenge is adherence, because during our years we have challenges. Maybe, a youthful life, they want to go out, they want to make connections with different people, so it affects their adherence, whereby I had a friend who would go out, but he couldn't take medicine. Like she comes back late and she misses out on her time, like for taking medicine, because you have to take
There's a specific time.
Yeah, yes, you set the time and then you have to stick to that. So it was quite challenging. So yeah, adherence is a main challenge, and then stigma and discrimination. There are very many young people out there who are still living in stigma and who are still living in isolation. And for example, I have there's one boy who was narrating to me how at home everything was separated, like his own cup, his own plate, his own basin, like
Wow.
The house is divided in half. Like this is his side and that is the other side. So it was tough for him, like to live with that. So that's another main challenge. And yeah, and like I've been working in the community of people living with HIV under Baila, Uganda. So anytime we would go out to the communities to reach out to those people. So some of those people would withdraw. They would like, don't come with those vehicles indicating Smanga, indicating the health facilities that people would know. So they would even hide. Someone won't even show up. So you have to really go as an ordinary person to reach out to them. So the stigma and discrimination is still a big issue. Yes.
How many years have you been doing this job of working with people, young people living with HIV?
It's now coming to 1 year. Yeah, my life, I started this the moment I went for the beauty pageant. I was just looking for a platform. So they gave me that platform and people got to know me, about me. So many young people got to open up to me. Even my friends whom I didn't actually know, they had the same issue.
Let me draw you a little bit back. Kamuzeko kemabega katonyo wali mu somero. Your secondary school life. Got to know you were positive, mu P7. So kata secondary life, so kotunyimizeka obyali bitya.
I got so quiet and I distanced myself from people. So just because I was protecting myself from fellow students knowing about me, because according to research, there is a high stigma and discrimination index in high school. Like the moment, I don't know how students think, but I don't know, and I don't know how their brains work, but the moment they get to know that you are HIV positive, they would start their bullying. So I had to distance myself from anyone. I didn't want to have a close friend. I had them, but I would still put that barrier that you shouldn't really come near.
Did they know you were positive?
They didn't. So they didn't know, but as a person, it was so isolating for me that I had to withdraw from even their activities, and I would just live my life.
Did this affect your studies, your schooling, your performance?
It definitely did.
To what extent?
To some a larger extent, because when I was in primary, I was known as a bright kid. But every time I had to deal with my status, and it was quite hard for me to concentrate in class, because I would be in class and I'm only thinking about my status. You try to focus, but the concentration does not. And what even caused more trouble was even the guys would approach me. So I was like, now what should I really tell them? They don't really know about me, and I'm this kind of person. I don't want to date a guy with minus them knowing about my status. So it was also stressful. So I had to withdraw from even guys. So
does that mean that all your secondary school or high school life you didn't date anyone?
I did.
However much they used to approach you?
Yeah.
Okay. So they say taking the medicine comes with a lot of effects, both positive and negative. Could you please enlighten us about that?
Taking what?
Medicine, the tabs, the ARVs, comes with a lot of effects. I would say both positive and negative. Could you please enlighten about those?
For someone who has just been enrolled on ARVs, there are quite a number of negative effects, because you have to get those side effects. Like get nightmares, you get dizzy, and you get dizzy, you get nightmares, you feel so weak. So
nightmares as in? Ebyoto by'entiisa? Ng'okola ki?
Okay, for me, my first time is like I would feel my head so heavy in the night that I wouldn't really understand whether I was still on earth, and I would feel myself that I was drowning into something that I didn't know, and it was scary. So
ng'oliyanga agwa mu kinnya naye nga tomanyi. Okay, but you get nightmares literally. People have testified to that. To you?
It depends, because there are types of ARVs, so it depends. So others get they first get yellow eyes. For me, I thank God I didn't get. The only effect I got was the nightmares and feeling so weak and getting dizzy. That's it. And then and every time you feel like and I would also feel like vomiting, and every time I take the smell, some of the smell is really bad, and you take and you don't really want to take, but you have to take. But the good side of it is that when the medicine gets used, like after some time, and you're really taking your drugs very well, it helps to suppress your virus, and then you become undetectable. So you then, that's when you start living a normal life like a negative person. The only difference is that you're taking medicine and they are not taking medicine. So that's the good side of it. You look healthy the way I am. So people wouldn't even know unless you tell them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tukyali n'omukyala amanyiddwa nga Akulu. Akulu, she's some good years. Ladies don't want to mention their years, but she's 20 and above. She hasn't told me if she's not dating, single, or she's married. But what I know is she's a lady, an advocate for young people living with HIV/AIDS. And the reason we are having her today on the show, we want to learn a few lessons. And to my people that are living positively but in denial, this is your time to learn from the best, and that's why I do these kind of stories, so that at least you pick a leaf here and there. And for those that haven't tested yet, see, it's the same thing for you guys. You should go and test. Life is too short for you to worry about things you can actually live with and actually be happy. So for the young people out there, please subscribe. If you're watching us live on television, please, thank you so much. Just go on my social media handles. That is KingSmith. Or subscribing or liking a Facebook page or following a Instagram so that we can have this whole conversation while together. So Akulu, let's talk about your relationship. You told us you finished the whole of your high school without dating nobody. So you get into university. What happened?
Well,
First of all, let's start from here. Are you single, dating, seeing someone, engaged, or married?
I'm single.
Again?
Yeah.
Is this a decision you've decided, or it's something that you just want to keep going on with?
I'm still working on myself.
Oh.
Yeah.
For all these 20 and above years, Tell us about it at campus. How did you deal with the hungry, the greedy guys that want to get a piece of you?
Well, when I joined campus, I decided to give it a try, but still I was scared of disclosure. So, yes, I had to tell him.
Mm-hmm.
I had to tell him, and it was very hard for him to believe. But again, I told him that's it.
Mm.
So, yeah, but he accepted later on. But though we broke up, but not because of my status. We broke up for other reasons, but not because I was HIV positive.
Was he?
No, he was negative.
But he accepted and took you on.
Yeah.
So how long did this last?
It lasted for almost 1.5. It was coming to 2 years. Yeah.
So after then?
After then, I resumed to my single life.
Is it because you don't give people a chance? Is it because people don't approach you? What? Because you're a beautiful young woman.
I know, but I feel that there's a lot that I really have to first accomplish as a person. And now I was also like preparing myself to come out publicly about my status. So the idea of being in a relationship was going to be tough for maybe the person whom I'm dating. Like, you know, it's tough. The disclosure, it's really tough, even for the person who is dating you. So he might get scared of public criticism that he's dating me, what. So I had to come out publicly to, like, I was preparing myself for this, and yes.
So ever since you came out publicly, no one has come to say, you know what, Akulu, you're beautiful, your smile, there. Your hair, your eyes.
They are there, but I'm still giving myself time.
Okay. Up to when? Maybe someone is watching us and is like, I
don't know. Time will tell.
Time will tell.
Yeah.
Okay, so you talked about the orphanage thing and the studies. Who's been paying for you? How have you been managing yourself, school, and your brother?
Oh, okay. At Kampala Children's Center, the founder is Bishop Arnold Wange, and he is not just a founder, but he is a father to all of us, and he has really stood by children's side and make inclusive. So he had to make sure that I finish my school, and he was really there for me as a father in the absence of my biological father. So yeah, so, and we also get, besides that, we have sponsorships.
Oh,
and
okay.
I had a white sponsor who would also contribute to my education and my life. So he also really stood in for me till I completed campus. Like, he had to make sure that I complete university. Yes.
Let's talk about your mom.
My mom.
Yes. What's up with her? Alibichi, nulimi orangore na kuzina.
She's fine. Yeah.
You get to see her?
Yes, once in a while I get to see her.
How has she been supportive in your journey?
She has been praying for me for a better future.
Yes.
She has been
coming to see you?
She has been encouraging me, and she has also been coming to see me after some time. Like, you know, remember when I told you that I waited for her to come? So it took her some good time before she had to come and finally see me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen that are watching us, we're going to twist the story a little bit and go to positive living and how someone can positively live, on drugs and then be looking good like you. Yeah, that is the story that we are going to. So let's talk about positive living. Time to encourage someone that is watching us. How have you managed to live positively and look good like this?
Positive living is a mindset. Because trust me, it's not easy. But once you tune your mindset, then you'll start living a healthy, positive life. First of all, like, you have to get rid of the mindset that you are going to die.
Yeah.
So I had to deal with that I'm not going to die. I'm going to have a future, and I'm going to study, and I finish. Because when I was in primary, I thought I would never even reach university. But the moment I reached university, it's like, oh, I've come this far, let me fight for my life, and let me fight for my future.
Yes.
So it's a mindset. You just set up your mind like, no, I'm not going to die. And then there would be critics. You'll have to face those, you'll still face the people who would gossip about you, but that's them. You have to work on yourself and make sure that you pray, because prayer has always been my stronghold, like something that I always held on to. Like anything that really bothered me, I would kneel down and pray to God, and I would feel relief. So you as a young person living with HIV, you have to pray so often. The Bible says that you should pray without ceasing. So, and another thing is that try to live a healthy lifestyle. How? Take your medicine, first of all. Take your medicine. You don't have to give up. I know several young people who gave up, but you don't have to give up, because I see ARVs as a second chance to life. It's like a hope. You never know that the cure one time will come, but this is just the first step to a long life, because there are very many very old people living with HIV, and they've lived with it like for over 50 years. So it's not the end. So you have to take your medicine and believe that you can live as long as a negative person. So, and you also check your balanced diet. I know right now it's hard talking about healthy eating, because people would complain, we are broke, they don't have money. But again, as a young person, like, try to learn a skill that you know that will generate you something, even if it's small. I don't earn a lot, but I try to look after myself. I make sure that I put something in my stomach, so that to keep my body strong. So, yeah, so make sure you eat. eat. I remember telling my friend who was just diagnosed with HIV, and she was like, Ruth, when people know about me, I just told her, you know what, just make sure you take a lot of porridge, so that it will fatten you up, and people won't even recognize that you're what, that you're sick. So porridge is my food. So yeah, eat as much as you want.
Just eat. As long as you eat.
Yes, but don't again eat to the extent of whereby you reach that obesity. No, that is not healthy. Just try to make sure. Then you do exercise. For me now, I dance. I love dancing, so it's easier doing that kind of exercise through dancing. So I don't know what you love doing. You could go for yoga. You could go for
running.
You could
Football.
You could you can play football. Like all those are types of what? All those are kinds of exercising yourself. So it's really important as a young person, because you have to look healthy. You don't have to look like a person who is going to die tomorrow, because still you'll make people speak. So you have to really look after yourself.
Would you encourage someone that is diagnosed with HIV, I don't want to let's say diagnosed, someone who has HIV, and to date?
Why not?
But you're not.
It's my decision.
Oh, but you'd feel it.
It's my decision that I just took. But again, I would, if you want to date, you go date. And if the person you want, there is always someone who loves you. So you have to wait for the person who loves you. So it's dating and living with HIV and dating is quite a very tricky topic, and it's actually a very long discussion. I don't know if you would.
Which we'll go in later on, like some other time.
Yes.
But you would allow them. You would,
yeah, they should
encourage
date.
them, yes.
And even for negative people, please don't look at, there's a fear of, there's fear among negative people that, like the moment, okay, this was my ex's thoughts at first, that now how about my future? Like they start actually even stigmatizing them. So even before getting infected, that will I be able to get kids? Like and most of them say that I'm going to die.
I'm dead. Oh,
I'm dead. So like, please, you're not dead. This is a human being like you. So you're not going to die. So have you seen me dying? I'm still living.
And you're living good. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we almost come to the end of the show, the end of the interview, not the show actually. But before we go, what advice do you have to the young people out there in just like 2 minutes?
Young people out there, youthful life comes with many challenges. And the moment you overcome this, there is always the next one. But only tough people go through that, because there is a saying that says that tough times don't last, but tough people do. So just know that if you're strong, you'll go through the tough times. Those tough times won't go away, but you'll have to go through them, and you'll still come out stronger, and you'll be a champion of your life.
Okay, thank you so much, Akulu. You're from which part of the country?
I'm from northern Uganda.
Northern Uganda. They say, I've forgotten how they greet. I wanted to greet you.
Kopango.
Kopango.
Kope.
Aliyo Mabear.
Bear.
Mushteged, I told you I've traveled this country, and I'm traveling all over Africa very soon, all over the world very soon, God willingly. Amanya, my name is One the King himself. Thank you so much. Hope you've learned a few things here and there from Akulu's story. So, it is always good to know your status. So, what have you done about it today? My question is, have you tested? Do you know whether you're negative or positive? Rollins, Omanyi, Oboli negative, Oboli positive? Or what Omanyi? This is the time, this is the day. Wherever you're watching us from, go and know your status. It is very, very, very important to know how you are, who you are, you know. If you know your status, then you know who you are. You know what I'm saying? So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching us. Please share this story, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and make it go viral, make it go worldwide, so that someone else can pick a lesson here and there. Thank you so much. The company that I work for is called King Montage, that sponsors the show. King Montage Production. They do good videography, photography, photo shoot, introduction, kwanjura, kuhinjira, name it. As long as it's about photography and videography, they have you covered. Their numbers are 0702 10 41 25, 0702 10 41 25. That's their number to call on, so that you can have them, you know, book them a gig, so they can also be supported in one way or the other. My personal cameraman, the good guy behind the lenses, is called Sir Lorenzo. Omuvubuka ono omuvubuka mutoneta nekebeza, so ndamukubiriza n'agende yekebeza. I love you so much. Subscribe to this channel and ciao ciao, bye bye.